Some of us do is we hire people to do the flats for us. So I subcontract this to some people, they flat it for me. So I save myself an hour to 2 hours per page per book, which amounts to a lot of time that I can then invest on the coloring side of things. So yeah, there's people out there who make a living out of flatting.
Wow.
And I certainly have 2 or 3 folks that work for me that do amazing work. They are my best friends. Alright, so let's move on to the foreground here. We're going to start to hit Batman with some highlights. These are the parts of the suit that are going to get lit by the lightning bolt. And the way Jim set it up is most of the light's going to be hitting from this side of the suit.
Would he tell you, like, hey, this is where I want the light to get? I mean, you can tell from the lightning, but...
And that's it. He's telling me with how he inked it. He's telling me, you know, this is such a strong shadow set that I know the light is really strong behind him, casting the shadow at here.
You guys work so well together, you don't even need to speak.
Sometimes. And then what I'm doing now is I'm bringing a little bit of the blue from the upper corner of the piece to help this side of the art of Batman pop from that background. In fact, it looks still a little too gray, so I'm gonna make it even bluer. Pop a little more blue in there. And I'm gonna do some detail work on the armor here.
You said before that depending on the artist, it may take you longer. What artists take the longest for you?
Jim's definitely one of them. I'm working on Justice League of America with Brian Hitch right now.
Yeah.
His stuff is it's amazing artwork, but it's definitely it's very time consuming.
Super intricate, lots going on the page.
Yep. So there's definitely folks that I work with that are super detailed. And I've been on the other side of the spectrum. Like I'm working with Billy Tan on Green Lantern is great, and that his stuff is not that it's simple, but it allows me to be more painterly than I would with Jim. I have to be really technical, very precise. Jim with Billy, I'm a little more free flowing, a little more organic.
Gotcha.
And so I tend to go faster with that, so there's less things that I have to worry about or deal with.
How many books do you do? Like a month?
I do 3 to 4 books a month.
And what are you working on now for them?
So right now I'm on Justice League of America, Green Lantern, Harley Quinn, and I'm about to start
Harley Quinn! We have the creative team right over there.
And I'm about to start the issue number 26 of Astro City, which is the 20th anniversary of the book. So it's the...
Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember we were talking about this.
The one book that I've been on the longest.
Since Chad can't hear us over there, how do you like coloring his stuff?
I love Chad. I love Chad.
He can't hear you.
Chad has a great way of drawing the most beautiful Harley Quinn face in one panel and the goofiest, clunkiest Harley Quinn in the next. and it is so amazing because it's very fitting to the feel of the book and the character. So it's always, Harley feels less like work than any other book.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. And all the gags, the writing is incredible. So it's almost like it's my time off where I can get to goof around too. Because I get to goof around with the color as well. I think we're all having a lot of fun.
How early do you get into the process? Like, do you ever like look at the scripts at all, or is it just all inked pages or even pencils or whatnot?
For the most part, again, it depends. When I'm working with Jim, I get to see the pencils, and then I get the inks from Scott. For every book that I work on, I read the script. I read the script, looking at the inks to make sure, one, that I'm getting any color cues from the script from the writer, and two, I'm starting to formulate my palettes for scenes of the book that's going on to make sure that helping tell that story that the writer started and Jim continued and then Scott.
Right.
You know, so to make it all cohesive.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to throw like a happy color on like a death scene or whatnot, you know.
Right. Right. And I want to make sure that sometimes the scene may be a flashback, so I want to make sure that I'm telling that story correctly.
Could you make him a little paler for me? He's so much tanner than I am, even living in California.
Everybody's tanner than me.
Shut up.
Alright. So we're running a little low on time, so I'm gonna skip a couple steps ahead here and show what they would look like rendered.
Whoa.
So this is what it would look like at this stage, which is not done. From here, I still have to go do what we call special effects. Glows, lightning bolt, all that kind of stuff. Which means that I have to start affecting the liner. To do that, I build layers on top of the inks. So if you're looking at the layer palette here, this layer is the coloring, this layer is the inks, and then I have a layer over that where I'm going to start to paint on. Right, and I've done a couple things. I've saved some selections with the inks for the background, and I'm going to do what's called a color hold, which means I'm going to take the black and change it to a color. What that immediately does is it makes the black recede. It really pushes it back and pushes Batman forward.
It almost looks 3D at this point.
Right. So, and that's you're playing, you know, creating that atmospheric perspective. You know, the clouds, even though they may be black, since they're farther back in space, all that air in between Batman and the clouds is going to dilute that black, or the value of that color, push it back. Right. So once we do that, what I can do is I can start to paint this lightning bolt that's behind them. And with that, I really just all I do is really just airbrush through. And paint, following what Jim's established here.
And that's just the paintbrush?
And that's just a regular airbrush.
That's so cool.
And then I take different tools, different settings, start to emphasize certain things about the bolt.
It's lightning, so it's okay if it's not like perfect.
Right.
It's like the energy crackling off it. Do you ever hide stuff in coloring, like names or anything like that?
No, I can't.
I think we just have a few minutes left.
Okay. Alright. So, once that's done, I'll add a little bit more of a emphasis to the bolt here. I'll add a little bit of green to the eyes. We'll go back to that smoke brush. And drop these rocks back a little bit. And then I want to make sure that I make the armor look like it's glowing as well. That lightning is such a strong light source that light bounces off of it.
It almost gives it texture.
Yep. Yep. And then the last thing is the rain. So I take the rain and I'll just start to add the wisps of rain. What's great about this is that much like the rain is in real life, is it never really runs perfectly parallel,
right.
Parallel to each other. So I'm just really going to throw lines. I find some of the rain that Jim's throwing on here, and I emphasize it. And add a few more.
It just really adds depth to
Yep.
where Batman's standing.
And then we'll go in here and add a little bit of rain splashing off the suit. And again, these are all brushes that I've built over the years, or borrowed or altered, just to get these effects. So I use this brush that I use for rain spatter, I use for texture on granite too. Same thing with the smoke brush, I use that for texture on asphalt. So I tend to double it up, make it work for me more than one way. Get the effect, so and then when it's done,
that's awesome.
What you get.
All right. Woo! Thanks a lot for showing us. This is awesome. Everyone give Alex Sinclair a hand.
Thank you.
Hey, you give your computer to the crowd. That's how this usually works. Well, thanks a lot, sir. My hands a little sweaty, but that was fun. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. We have a couple more presentations for the next couple. Stick around. We actually have this trailer we want to show you. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's kind of a big deal.